It started as a peaceful morning at Willow Creek Lake. The sun had barely risen, and a thin layer of mist floated gently across the still water. Birds chirped in the distance, and everything felt calm until one small detail changed everything. A local fisherman, Daniel Hayes, was casting his line near the shallow edge of the lake when he noticed something unusual beneath the surface. At first, he thought it was a large rock, but as the sunlight shifted, a dull metallic shape reflected back at him. Curious and slightly uneasy, Daniel leaned over his boat for a closer look. His heart began to race. Beneath the murky water, partially buried in mud and algae, was what looked like the roof of a vehicle. He immediately called 911. Within minutes, police vehicles and emergency crews arrived at the scene. Red and blue lights flashed across the water, breaking the peaceful silence that had existed just moments earlier. Officers secured the area, unsure whether they were dealing with an accident, a crime scene, or something far more disturbing. Rescue divers were sent into the freezing lake. The water was dark and thick with sediment, making visibility almost impossible. Using underwater flashlights, they carefully navigated toward the metallic object. What they confirmed sent a wave of shock through the team above. It wasn't just any vehicle. It was an armored security truck, the same type used to transport large amounts of cash between banks. The truck appeared heavily damaged but strangely intact. Its doors were sealed tight, as if whatever was inside had been locked away deliberately. Divers attached cables as cranes were brought in to lift the massive vehicle from its watery grave. It took nearly 3 hours to pull the truck out. Water poured from every opening as it rose into the air, covered in mud, weeds, and rust. A crowd of stunned locals gathered behind police tape, whispering among themselves. Some remembered a story from years ago, an armored truck that had mysteriously disappeared without a trace. When officers finally forced the doors open, silence fell over the entire shoreline. Inside were dozens of locked metal cash containers. Surprisingly, many of them appeared untouched. The sight alone was enough to leave even experienced officers wide-eyed. But that wasn't what truly shook them. In the driver's seat, slumped forward as if frozen in time, were the skeletal remains of a man. Next to him lay a worn leather wallet. An officer carefully opened it. Inside was a faded ID card belonging to a security guard named Thomas Granger, reported missing nearly 10 years ago. The discovery sent chills through everyone present. 10 years earlier, Thomas had been part of a routine cash transport route. That night, the truck vanished from radar during a severe thunderstorm. No distress call, no witnesses, no trace. Authorities suspected a sophisticated heist, possibly involving inside help. But without evidence, the case slowly went cold. Until now, the biggest question echoed through every investigator's mind. If this was a robbery, why was the money still inside? Forensic teams began examining the vehicle immediately. There were no obvious signs of forced entry from the outside. No bullet holes, no shattered glass, just damage consistent with a crash. Preliminary findings suggested the truck may have veered off a narrow lakeside road during the storm and plunged into the water unnoticed. But something didn't add up. Security protocols required 2 guards in every armored transport, yet only one body was found. Where was the second guard? The mystery deepened. Investigators reviewed old case files and interviewed retired employees from the security company. Rumors resurfaced. Whispers of financial trouble, suspicious phone calls, and unexplained route changes that night. Some believed Thomas had been betrayed. Others believed he had been part of a failed escape plan. But as evidence slowly surfaced, a more tragic possibility emerged. It appeared the truck may have accidentally skidded off the road during the storm. The heavy vehicle could have sunk quickly, trapping the driver inside before he had time to react. The second guard may have escaped, or perhaps he was never in the truck that night at all. Authorities have reopened the decade-old case. DNA testing and forensic reconstruction are underway to piece together the final moments before the truck disappeared beneath the lake. For the family of Thomas Granger, the discovery brings a painful mix of grief and closure. For years, they lived without answers, unsure whether he had been a victim or something else entirely. Now, at least part of the truth has surfaced. But one haunting question still lingers in the quiet air around Willow Creek Lake. What really happened that stormy night 10 years ago? And why did it take a fisherman's curious glance to finally bring the past back to light? Some secrets sink, but sooner or later, they rise.